Hey family, you already know it's Wealth and Wisdom Wednesday. Here we talk about all things wisdom and all things wealth and how we use wisdom and financial strategies to help build wealth. So today let's unpack why most people fail at building wealth. Most people fail at building wealth because they build without first protecting. They invest without first laying the foundation to protect what they're building. So imagine building a house or renovating your current home. Now you're not about to select a contractor of whom you didn't confirm or research if they're legitimate, if they're licensed, and that they don't run away with your money. So the same level of protective mode that you go in with that is the same level and layer of protection that you should pursue and that you should obtain and that you should apply to your journey of building wealth. And unfortunately, some people choose to invest without first protecting. They choose to invest while ignoring or paying the bare minimum on their credit card debt or other consumer debt, which in my opinion is like robbing Peter to pay Paul, just to later realize that Paul ain't got it either. So how do you make sure you don't fail at building wealth? I want you to ask yourself this question. What do I need to generate income? What is a necessity? What is a must-have? What is a dire need that I must have in place in order to generate income? Now, most people would say a job, a product to sell, a service to sell, and all of those things are good and all of those things are needs, but those things are secondary need. Because what you must have, what is a necessity, what is an absolute need that you must have that is primary in order to generate wealth is good health and good strength. Because if you are not in good health and strength, you won't be able to perform the job, you won't be able to sell the product, and you will not be able to complete the service to generate income. So the first thing a true wealth builder do is they secure their wealth using protective measures like income protection insurance and life insurance to protect their income, to protect what they're building. How so? Because the income protection insurance is put in place for the what ifs. What if I'm out of work for an unexpected major surgery that's taken a lot longer for me to recover? What if I find out that I have an autoimmune disease that apparently runs in my family or apparently not, that I wasn't aware of? You never know if it'll be you until it's you. Now, if you are employed, most jobs, not all, offer income protection insurance in the event that you are out of work for a short or long-term period of time. They tend to title those things or call it disability insurance, short and long-term disability insurance. Now, oftentimes it may be part of your employee benefit package. So if you are a 9-to-5er, go check to see if your employer offers or carry that as part of your benefit package. Now, if they don't, it doesn't mean that they are a trash employer. It just means that you can secure your own policy and you own it and it goes wherever you go. So how does this protect your wealth? Because you cannot build wealth without first having income. It serves as an income replacement if and or when you are out of work. It allows for stability so that you're not drawing from your savings account or drawing from your investment account to supplement the paycheck that you're not receiving while you are on medical leave. Now let's talk about how true wealth builders secure their wealth through protective measures like life insurance. Because life insurance also serves as an income replacement, but it also serves as a wealth building tool, of which I like to call a wealth transfer tool. But let's get into how life insurance serves as an income replacement first. Then I'll get into how life insurance also serves and also works as a way for you to build wealth while also transfer wealth.
All right, so in this example, we have mom and dad. Mom brings home $2,000 a month, while dad also brings home $2,000 a month. Their $2,000 that each of them bring home a month all work together to provide a total of $4,000, providing for their children, providing for their home expenses, providing for their living expenses, and all other expenses. Now, imagine here that, unfortunately, something prematurely happens to one of the parents. Whenever something happens to one of the parents and they pass away at an unexpected early age, what happens is the income of that one parent goes away. And then what also happens is this $4,000 that they pulled together to bring in a month now all falls on the shoulder of the surviving parent and their $2,000 a month income that they bring in. So where does that leave the surviving parent in terms of the children or the child, in terms of living expenses, and also in terms of other expenses? So in this example, these two wealth builders decided to pull together to say, okay, let's develop a plan of action for income replacement and also it being a wealth building tool to help provide leverage and protection for the wealth that we have accumulated together and that we have built together. So the two of them got together and reviewed and said, okay, well, our mortgage balance that we have left on the house is about $190,000. The average funeral expense is about $15,000. The take-home pay of both of us, $2,000 from me, $2,000 from you. Collectively, that's a total of $48,000 of take-home pay that the both of us bring home to help provide for our children or our child, our family, our home expenses, our living expenses, and other expenses. Also, they wanted to make sure that in the event that something happens to one of them, that their child's future is protected. So $100,000 was considered for the child's future. So altogether, they determined that they need $353,000 worth of protection to cover any expenses that they want to make sure that they secure to further secure their wealth. So in the end, they purchased a $500,000 life insurance policy. What this life insurance policy puts in place as a way of protection is, one, it takes, in the event that something happens to one of them, it takes care of the mortgage balance so that it secures housing for their family and for their child, providing for the family during a time of grief without simultaneously trying to figure out or trying to strategize an income replacement option in the midst of grief. The second thing that they considered was $48,000 worth of take-home pay will also be secured to provide the surviving parent time off from work to grieve without the pressure of immediately being forced back to work due to lack of income. Within their planning options, they also wanted to make sure that they secured their child's education and other future activities that the child would be in or is currently in at the time of that unexpected death. So with $500,000 life insurance, they secured their mortgage, make sure that there is a roof over their head. They secured funeral expenses. They secured time. They secured take-home income to make sure that there is enough for the parent to properly grieve without being forced back to work. The child's future is secured, and then there is a leftover of $147,000 of a legacy seed remaining. Now, prior to having this conversation, this couple originally has $60,000 of life insurance, just to realize that $15,000 would be allocated towards funeral expenses, perhaps $5,000 for credit card bills to take care of the odds and ends. That means that they will have $40,000 remaining. The $2,000 of the deceased parent's income, if you divide that by the remaining amount of $40,000, this would leave roughly about 20 months worth of income replacement left until it runs out. And that's given the fact that there aren't any surprises that takes place along the way. Leaving this, the home is not secured for the child or the family, the child's future is not secured, and there is a lack of income replacement, which means no legacy seed remains.
Now let's talk about the other side of the spectrum of using and leveraging life insurance as a wealth building tool, or as I like to call it, a wealth transfer tool. Now, let's say none of that happens. Let's say mom and dad grow up, age well, age gracefully, and grows up and live long enough to see the child graduate from high school, go off to college, and live their life. In this example, how the $500,000 life insurance policy can also be leveraged is, let's say the child graduates from high school and they obtain a scholarship, a sports scholarship, a music scholarship, and they go off to college, right? Now, by the time your child graduates, or by the time this child graduates, who knows what the conditions of what the housing market will be by then? Who knows what the price points of homes and purchasing homes may be in the next 10, 15, 20 years when it's time for them to purchase a home? So because these parents purchased a $500,000 whole life insurance, they purchased it in enough time for it to grow and accumulate and do its thing. So when their child graduates from college, land them a good job, and the child is ready to purchase a home, and the child goes, okay, well, mom and dad, I have about $10,000 saved up to purchase my first home. Well, this is how life insurance is used as a wealth building tool, but a wealth transfer tool. Mom and dad gets together, they go into the life insurance policy, pull out $30,000 to go with his or her $10,000, and boom, you have $40,000 to put down on your first home purchase. This is how this turns into a wealth building tool, into a wealth transfer tool. And check this out. Going into a life insurance policy that you've allowed for it to grow and that you have allowed time for the cash value to grow and to compound, you pulled out that $30,000 tax free. That's one word that wealth builders like to hear and like to make sure that they leverage is tax-free income. Now, you may be watching, you may go, okay, well, that's not my scenario. I don't have any children. I don't desire to have any children. But what else are your goals? Do you desire to purchase a real estate property one day? Do you desire to later invest in your business or start up a business? Well, in this same scenario, you can go in to pull out $30,000 tax-free from your life insurance policy and say, okay, here's my down payment on my investment property. Here's my down payment on starting off my first business venture. This is the power of protection that Wealth Builder use. They put measures in place to always protect their income. They put measures in place to make sure that they always have an income replacement tool ready if and or when they ever need to use it. And then if they don't need to use it, i.e. life insurance, then it sits there, it accumulates its cash value through a permanent or whole life policy, and then you can leverage that as a wealth transfer tool. This is how true wealth builders can grow and can elevate and don't lose their wealth, because true wealth builders put protective measures in place to always protect their income and to always set their family up for success, with making sure that just in case something happens to me, let me put something in place that functions as an income replacement. And then if I don't need it, I can take that and convert that into a wealth transfer tool, tax-free. And also, if you have questions about income protection insurance, if you have questions about life insurance, which life insurance type should you select, any of those questions, I'm going to put a link below in the descriptions for you to schedule a complimentary phone call session. It can be virtual, where you can simply just ask questions to find out what are some options that are available for you, so that you can make the best decision for your family, so that you can leverage the tools that I talked about today. Her name is Perry Jackson. She is a licensed comprehensive financial advisor who is the coldest in the game. So click the link below and set up your complimentary session for you to ask questions, for you to find out what your options are, so that you can take part in making sure that you are protecting your income on your journey to building wealth. You already know what I'm going to say. Make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel. Anyone that you text this week, the last 5 to 10 people that you text, called, DM, or even spoke to in a grocery store, share this with them. Here we talk about all things wisdom, all things wealth, and how we are using our wisdom and financial strategies to help leverage and build wealth. So remember, your mindset is the key to unlocking your financial freedom. It's time to leave behind what's comfortable for what's possible. All you have is now, so start now. See you next week.